Hey guys, it's Lance here. Not a big fan of doing reviews or a lot of talking, but thought I'd just give a quick one out to this new BlackRock just because it's kind of new. There's not a whole lot out there. Really liking it so far. I've had just time to go over it a few times. I've changed up a few things, lowered it a little bit. To me, I kind of like the scale. Close to my TJ is slammed pretty low. So it's definitely bigger, which is how it's supposed to be. But I don't find it that much smaller or too off with another scale, let's say Hilux. So I don't find that the BlackRock is too small in comparison. It's just depending on if you're gonna throw big 4.2s or larger tires on your rigs, then it might. Anyway, I do think it sits a little high, the body on the chassis. I've lowered it pretty much as I can, taking away a bit of the flex, which I don't mind for a scale rig. So this review as well is gonna be more on the scale side because I'm not really too interested in comping or anything with it. Bumpers are just on loose because those will need to go. I liked what someone else said in its stock formation and a little bit now. It looks like it's been going to the gym and it's always forgetting leg day because just the rear just kind of sits up a little high. I think by the time someone comes out with maybe a inner fenders, or I do it myself, it'll close up a bit of the big spacing on the rear and look a little more appealing. I took the extra springs. You get a few extra sets, which is very nice. So I took off what was on the front and I put them on the rear, and then the extra set of whites, which are one of the lightest ones, I put to the front. Then again, I've obviously put the shocks attached to the higher mounting hole on the front, and on the rear I put them to the lower mount on the axles, but then I've also had to move the top. I think they were all the way to the outside, maybe I just notched them in one way or another, so it gives a bit of flex still, and just sits a little nicer. The hitting, so the only thing that's hitting is the pan hard mount. I don't know if you can see it in there, not that it matters. I'm fairly happy with it, but yeah, I think if the servo wasn't in such a funky positioning, it'd be a bit easier switching that around. And hey, it might be all mods that will come out, whether I decide to tackle that or not. On the rear, there's two places that are hitting now. Let's see if I can see here. So the two places on the rear that are hitting is the bump stops. They're tapping. And on full compression, I also hit the back or rear of the battery tray and the link mounts or whatnot. So we'll call it the No Lag Day JK. Plastic edition? I'm not allowed to call it a JK maybe. Anyway, yeah, there's a bit more plastics involved with this one than some of RC 4-wheel drive's other offerings. Nothing too terrible, but like shock mounts, link mounts, shock hoops, just made out of a bit more plastic than we're used to seeing. The other thing is the body. It feels extremely cheap. It's definitely not Blazer or Hilux grade plastic. The fenders are even weaker, like even toy grade almost. I guess the pro is that it's not as heavy as some of the other bodies as well. The one thing I noticed right away as well is that the nose of the Jeep, it's not really sitting in the chassis. It's not clipped down, just sitting on top. But the nose is really weak. Like a mistaken tumble or something, I feel that you could just break the whole nose off, which would be no bueno. As we can see here as well, my hood magnets are no longer attached, so they'll have to be glued on. I had an extra screw that was just sticking on top of the battery, so let's hope that wasn't supposed to go anywhere. So being, yeah, a little more of a lighter body or cheaper plastics, and the link mounts and hoops or whatnot, I think we're trading that in for then more scale axles. Having no coilovers, which is a huge plus. Looks so pretty. And yeah, an extra wheel. And you get your nice little wheel mount with a nice little brake light on top. Next thing I just wanted to talk about really quick was just the interior. Now, you might not be able to look in there too far. I was a little disappointed in, with everyone being so pro, oh, it's got a nice scale interior, is that it is only 3/4. So any kind of figure that would be placed inside will have to have his legs probably removed from the knee down. Body mounts are a little weird. I like them. I like that they're hidden. I like that they tried something new. But yeah, the first time I thought I was going to break the body or break the mounts. It was kind of tricky. So again, you just got to hit the 4 corners, these little switches. I think they're supposed to kind of allow the body to pop off. So if you push it too hard, you're kind of locking them in place. I don't know. I was kind of worried about them the first time. They are metal up here, but again, they attach down here, plastic. So hopefully they last. I'm hoping that after a bunch of uses, it'll get easier. That's the other thing I was contemplating, trying to get the body to sit lower on the chassis. If I can somehow cut off maybe a bit of this plastic and get the mounts to sit, then suck up a little higher, so it allows the body to sit down a little bit lower. Again, the motor being in such a weird position, it only gives us a 1/2 inch to work. Well, no, it gives us maybe a 1/4 inch to work with before you have clearing issues up here. So motor mount, so strange that they produced that 2-speed in one whole piece, so it's not even clockable anymore, which is really silly in my opinion. I'm happy with it. I think it's going to be a nice scale vehicle. Just that rear end. Gonna have to patch in this whole inner fender or something. I would love to change the fenders on this thing. I think the front's kind of weird. The back's a little strange. But I think that's going to make the body look like it's sitting up even higher. So when you get all the nice kind of open fenders, well, it's just going to leave even more space in between, making it look like a no leg day JK.